are so excited that you are here. I'm a big fan. I've stalked you left, right, and center. So I absolutely love. I want to reference one. Of course, we got to talk about Broad City. Can't go take a moment. Of course. But I want to reference one episode because it is one of my faves where you and Abby take mushrooms. And so I just want to ask the hard-hitting questions here, okay? Do you partake in such mushroom-related activities in real life?
So I love that episode too. That is such a fun episode, but also scary because you're like in it with the girls and you're like, no, no, no. But I totally do.
Do tell.
Well, okay, so like the last time I did mushrooms was really bad in LA. That was part of why it was bad. It was 2 years ago, and dude, my best friend came, he lives in California, and he came down, and we were like, we're gonna do this, and it's gonna be so good. We're gonna go on a hike. So we take mushrooms in a lift on the way to this. We're like, you know what I mean? I think we're so clever. We're driving up to this national park, and we notice after we ate the mushrooms that our service is going down, down, down. And we were like, how are we gonna get home? Because we're not gonna be able to lift anybody. And so we had to like hitchhike home, basically. And I got a ride from an entertainment lawyer. It was honestly a nightmare. It was like hell.
Did the entertainment lawyer know you?
No, hysterical. I was like, Broad City, hello? It's like, just shut up, you idiot. Just shut up. And then, of course, he's like, oh, yeah, I know Broad City. Like, it was a mess, you know? But I do have to say, regarding, like, tripping in the desert, I'm like, maybe it's what I need the most, but who knows? I don't know. It was scary, and I haven't done it in a while. But I think it's a great tool for mental health.
I love that. Thank you for being so open about it. I love that so much.
Thanks for asking.
Of course. Oh, my God. Thank you. Thank you. So Broad City ran for 5 beautiful seasons. And during that time, I imagine your profile grew so much. So I'm so curious, did your profile rising affect the type of stories you were able to tell on the show?
You know, like, I honestly, like, I'm not sure. I don't know about our profiles growing, me and Abby Jacobson, my co-creator. But what did change was that, like, we became bosses, you know, like not just in speech, but like actually we had a crew and, you know, writers, and we were like running stuff, and we couldn't, our characters were like struggling, and we actually were producing stuff and productive. Right. And, you know, we started making money too. And yeah, I think like we started being like, we are not living the lives of our characters anymore. It was particularly this conversation we kept having about crudité at the Nomad Hotel.
I don't even know what that is.
So it's like chopped vegetables. It's nothing. You know what I mean? It's nothing.
Wait, what's the word?
Crudité.
I've truly never heard this word in my life.
Snobby. I'm like, you're talking chopped veggies. You're not a crudité. You can say crudité, but you're just talking about carrot sticks. With like a dip or whatever. And I was like, oh, I loved the crudité. Abby was like, I had that crudité. I was like, I had the crudité the other day. She's like, I had it just yesterday. And we were like, this is gross. We gotta end the show. It's
So the crudité ended the show. That's when you knew.
barely interesting. Let's stop. Let's quit while we're ahead.
So on the show, it's well documented your attraction to Abby, which I love so much. I love so much. So I gotta ask, is it just her, or do you find yourself attracted to some of your other friends? And then also, are we friends?
I'm in love with all of my closest friends, right? I'm like, what is that sexuality? You know what I mean? Where you're like, what is this boundary? I'm in love with you. I mean, my partner, I'm married to my best friend, and you know, it starts from there, and then everybody else follows. I'm like, aren't our friends the people that like are the hottest people that we know? You know what I mean?
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's why we're friends with them, because they make us horny, you know?
You've given us so much content. A queen, content for a lifetime. Congratulations on your stand-up special. The planet is burning. I wanted to ask you something very specific, because you said something really interesting, and I want to make sure I say it correctly. You say in your stand-up special, you feel that you're 60 to 70% female and 30 to 40% male. I think that's very interesting. Can you explain what you meant by that?
Yeah, I feel fluid. I totally feel dudely all the time. You know, I feel, I don't know, I like got my boobs early and I was like, what? And I was like, I'm not ready for these, you know? And I don't know, I just feel like, what does it mean? I don't know, like these are funny, I'm like, LOL heels. You know, like it just is, I guess that once you start breaking it down, it's all a construct. And I guess male and female energy. Female is like all-encompassing, wise, and knowing. And I can't, like, raise up to that all the time. You know what I mean? Sometimes I'm like a little idiot, which is like what I consider male energy. I'm just like a little dumb dude, you know what I mean? I'm like a dumb little dude. And my partner and my family accept me for it, and I'm like, thank you, because this is all I can be.
I love this. I love that.